some things that I had been told once I started the job. And you know, me, like as a person, I'm pretty happy-go-lucky. I'm really calm. I mean, I don't go out of my way to gossip at work. Unfortunately, I work with a lot of women that are like in their 30s, 40s, it was insane. Well, they called in one of my coworkers that I am friends with to speak to her. Wait, let me back up. So one of my coworkers that I'm friends with, she had gotten called to the boss's office, like, I think it was a week before I had that talk with the CEO lady and my boss. And my boss sat there and told this coworker how she thinks that I am manipulating her, like the friend, and how hanging out around me is just not a good look, etc., etc. And my friend was basically saying back to her, like, you don't understand, like, you're not there, you don't see this stuff. And so anyway, my own boss talking to another employee about me when it is none of their business, nor is that professional on her part at all. So, in my meeting with the CEO lady and my boss, I had mentioned the word manipulation. And I guess my boss put two and two together, and she ended up calling the other employee into the office, basically confronting her like, oh, you told so-and-so that I said this, that, and the third, like, you shouldn't have said that. And then my friend, she was like, well, as a boss, you shouldn't have said any of that to me. That's another employee, they're human, they're the ones being bullied, and here you are, bullying them as well and not doing anything about it. So the CEO lady was talking to my friend, and she was like, well, she is your subordinate, so if she told you not to tell anybody, you shouldn't tell anybody. And my friend was like, if it was work related, I can understand, but this was all personal. So it was just a big cluster. But anyway, that's where even really have much to say after that. It's just kind of like, that's such a